Today's story might hit home a little bit. I want to see where this goes. Am I the asshole for not supporting my husband's dream to have a music career? Now, before we get into it, I gotta caution you because some of these titles are a bit misleading. As somebody who's married himself, this could get tricky. I feel like I've had this conversation with my wife. My husband and I both work full-time in our respective fields. He's an IT manager while I work as a pharmacist. Last year during lockdown, so this is a little bit old. Last year during lockdown, my husband started producing music. First, it was just beats and chord progression until later last year, he made a full song with lyrics and accompaniment. I'm sorry, I'm not very familiar with musical terms. Don't trip. You did it right. He made a beat and it sounded like he had some vocals to go along with it. He became a member of a community of independent artists that support each other through promotion, streaming, and collaboration. That's dope that he found it that quick. I mean, I guess you could find it quick depending on how hard you're looking, but it took me a while to find a community that's that supportive. My husband turned our guest room into his music studio. Look where you at. I'm telling you, it's feeling like it's gonna hit home pretty soon. I was happy and proud of him for finding an outlet and doing what he loves. But he recently told me that he wants to produce music full time. I asked what he meant and he said he wants to quit his job. Yo, it's getting very familiar. It's getting very familiar. Let's see where old boy goes. I initially thought he was joking, but he looks serious and he wants to make it big in the music industry. Wow. Okay, a lot of people have this dream of making it big in the music industry. We got to outline what making it means first. Before making it big, first we got to outline what does making it mean specifically to you, because making it for one person is not the same as it is for another person. Like for me, making it means I'm included in the top 5 conversation. It ain't got to be nationwide. It just means I'm included in your local barbershop of local MCs that get busy on the microphone. For somebody else, that might mean getting a big house. That might mean this is your main source of income. But we got to establish what making it means, especially when you married, fam. Because your wife, your husband don't want to hear, I'm trying to make it big, because you're not being specific. These bills still got to get paid. I told him I totally support his passion, but quitting his job is not a very wise idea right now, as we have a mortgage and credit card payments to make. That part. So listen, you have a job right now. I'm talking to the guy, not the woman making the complaint. You have a job right now. There's nothing guaranteed about this industry. Even when you're making money, as we've seen in recent activities, even when you're making money, there's nothing that guarantees you're going to hold on to that for a long time. At least you have a job that could sustain you until your music makes some traction. Even when you make some traction, it might be a good idea to hold on to that steady Eddie, as I've called it in the past. Hold on to that steady Eddie until it doesn't make sense to hold on to the steady Eddie, because the obligations you have to this music thing outweigh what you're getting paid from the job. We're also trying to get pregnant and we can't afford to become a one-income household. And you're trying to get pregnant? Your money's about to get real slim. Not just the hospital visits, not just preparing for the kid to get there, but when the kid gets there, you're going to have a whole bunch of payments that you're not ready for. A lot of things you could plan for, but when it comes to a kid, there's so much left on the table that you don't even see. I don't have a kid right now. I'm in a lucky space, but I see what my brothers go through. I see what my family members go through that are pregnant, trying to get pregnant and have a kid subsequently. And I see a lot of unknown bills pop up because they weren't ready for that. All I'm saying is it might be a little bit wiser to hold on to that job until you get some traction with your music. Hey, yo, since I got you here, if you have a wild story, janky promoters, studio drama, anything that made you question who was the real problem, I want to hear about it. I'm building this Am I the Asshole music story series off of real stories from people like you. The link is in the description. It's anonymous and it's safe. I don't need your name. I just need the truth. And while you're here, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the page so you don't miss the next one. All right, let's get back to the chaos. He told me it's only hard in the beginning, but once he makes his break, we'll be living in luxury. Okay, so I see where old boy's head is at. He thinks he's about to be swimming in dough. It depends on what section of music you're trying to get into. Like if you're going on the licensing side, I would still suggest hold on to your job, but you can make a little bit more money real quick with licensing deals. But if you're trying to make it as an artist, it's slow At the beginning, true, but that beginning could be 5 years. That beginning could be 10 years. That beginning could be 15 years until you build up a reputation. And even then, you're not getting paid on the strength of your music per se. Your music is going to lead you into a doorway that gets you the brand deal, that gets you the sponsorship dollars, that gets you these things that allows money to come in more sustainably. If you're relying on just your music making the money, you got to have a better plan in place, my guy. I still disagree with him, and we got into a pretty heated argument. He thinks I'm an asshole for not being a supportive spouse. My mom thinks I'm an asshole too. Wait a minute. I'm starting to question how old these people are, because people who have sense understand what this woman is trying to say. Not your mom thinks you're... I'm sorry you're going through that. Am I really an asshole for not letting my husband chase after his dream? So, no. I don't think you're an asshole for not letting your husband chase his dream. I think the language there is a little bit interesting, because letting your husband chase his dream as opposed to supporting your husband chase his dream are two different conversations. If the conversation is letting him, you ain't about to let a grown man do anything. He's grown. He's going to do what he wants to do. But supporting means bringing up the things you're bringing up. So my wife and I had a conversation back in 2018. Yeah, just before we got married. Actually, it was 2019, because we got married in 2019. We had this conversation at around May of 2019, where I was feeling very unfulfilled in my job. I wasn't getting the upward mobility that I wanted to get. I was working at a studio, and I just felt like I needed a change. So I had a conversation with my wife, and we talked about everything that was going to happen if I quit my job. She was in support, but she said I had to go bring in some money in order for this to happen. So I got on my freelance game, meaning I had studio sessions with some of my friends and put out ads as far as people coming to my studio to record. I also did music video work. I did all of these things, but I was still chasing my artistry dream. I'm still chasing my artistry dream now, but there's a responsibility that isn't going to go away, and it can't wait on making it. It can't wait on this thing happening. Money is not going to wait. Bills still got to be paid. So there has to be a plan in place, and your spouse has to feel secure in your plan in order for these bills to get paid. So just leaving it as it's going to be slow at first, but then what is your plan to make sure these bills get paid until this thing you're working on, this dream you got, sustains you? Don't just rely on I'm good, because everybody's good. Everybody has access to these apps that can, at the push of a button, can make it sound like it's radio ready. Everybody has access to ChatGPT now to punch up these lyrics. Everybody has access to these things that can help you sound like you got it put together. But at the end of the day, it's a very volatile career choice, and you got to have a solid plan in place. So no, I don't think this woman is an asshole. I think the husband needs to be a little bit more realistic, especially considering you got a mortgage. Me and my wife is talking about getting a house right now. A mortgage, depending on how you work that thing, can already be crippling. You got car payments, and you talking about having a kid on the way. Do you think that this music thing will sustain you long enough, or the idea of it being big will sustain you long enough until it actually cracks off? We got to be a little bit more realistic in our dreaming. It's cool to have a dream. It's cool to want these things, and it's cool to chase it, but you got to make sure you're financially stable along the way. That being said, I suggest you hold on to that job, bro, or be ready to lose your spouse. But that's what I think. That's my thoughts. What do you think? Is it okay to chase your dream and forsake all other responsibilities? Is it okay to chase your dream and forsake responsibilities, and you got a spouse and you got kids, either here or on the way? I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments. Until then, tap in with me. You know I tap back. Peace.
Everything meticulous.